Good day, sir. I'm Charlie Moania. We are Group 1 and we are going to present our video presentation regarding the topic of the site of the first mass in the Philippines. Is it in Limasawa or in Masao, Butuan?
Christian Mass. Mass is the main Eucharistic liturgical service in many forms of Western Christianity. And also, Mass, the ritual of chants, reading, prayers, and other ceremonies used in celebration of the Eucharist in the Roman Catholic Church. A debate about the site of the first Mass of the Philippines. Is it in Limasawa, Leyte or Masao, Butuan?
Good day, everyone. I am Jayhani Amor M. Pakapat. I will read to you the mechanics of this debate. First, the positive stand will state the arguments of their position within 6 minutes, followed by negative stand 6 minutes as well. Next, the rebuttal speech of each side replying to the critic, a total of 6 minutes. Lastly, the summation and conclusion regarding the issue.
Good day, sir. I am Glenda May Daklan, and let me introduce to you our group members. Giancarlo Melendez, John Alvin Filiazar, Cyril Maderse, Elizabeth Bungalon, Marine Beru, Sherilyn Mapalo, Glowin Enoch, Jessie Natingor, Cherison Amba, Mary Ann Liagas, and Shani Jane Nabalitan. And now, let's hear the first argument on the positive side.
I stand for limasawa, where the first mass happened here in the Philippines. March 31, 1521. Easter Sunday, it was conducted by Father Pedro D. Valderrama of Ferdinand Magellan's expedition along the shores of what was referred to in the journals of Antonio Pigafetta as Mazaua, known today as Limasawa Island, Leyte.
I stand by the side of the opposition, stating that the Masao was the site of the first mass of the Philippines, because Butuan claim rests upon tradition that was almost unanimous and unbroken for 3 centuries, namely 16th, 17th, and 18th century. Thank you.
Recorded visit by Europeans is Ferdinand Magellan's expedition who landed in Homonhon Island, now part of Gewat, Eastern Samar. Pigafetta narrated on his account the events happened from March 16, 1521 when they first saw the island of the Philippine group up to April 7, 1521. Ferdinand Magellan's fleet anchored in Mazwa on March 28, 1521 until April 4, 1521. Having received a warm welcome from Mazwa's chieftain and its natives, the crew stayed in the island for 7 days, and on March 31, Easter Sunday, Magellan had Holy Mass officiated in Mazwa.
Also, historian Gregorio Zaidi, who originally supported the Limasawas, also claimed that it is high time for contemporary historians and the Philippine government to correct their mistakes and accept the first Christian Mass celebrated Butuan, Agusan del Norte, and not in Limasawa, Southern Leyte.
Good day to everyone. I am Shiniji Nabalitan from the stand of positive Limasawa. The evidence of Limasawa, the evidence of Albus Lagbo, the evidence to Figafita, Figafita Diary, 7 days date Maswa, the 2 kings, and also the National Commission of the Philippines, as it reaffirmed its earlier ruling that the country first mass held 500 years ago was in Limasawa, Southern Leyte, and not Butuan. Thank you.
Bishop ordered the unpublished book Butuan, not Limasawa features a copy of 1581 edict by Manila Bishop Domingo D. Salazar, which declared El Capilla de Butuan as the site of the Easter Mass celebrated on March 31, 1521. Accordingly to Julian calendar, April 8, 1521, based on Gregorian calendar. Thank you.
Antonio Pigafetta was an Italian scholar and explorer. He joined the expedition to the Spice Island led by the explorer Ferdinand Magellan under the flag of the Emperor Charles V. And after Magellan's death in the Philippine island, the subsequent voyage around the world, and he may have recorded the first mass celebrated on March 31, 1521, in a place he identified as Masawa. During the expedition, he served as Magellan assistant and kept an accurate journal, which later assisted him in translating the Cebuano language. It is the first recorded document concerning the language, but he wrote in Italian, and many significant details may have been lost in a series of translations made in England, France, and heaven knows where else. However, the debate has officially ended and Limasawa won. Through the years, the NSCP had formed panels of experts to deliberate on this issue. In 1995, the panel was headed by no less than a Justice of Supreme Court, that Honorable Emilio Gangayco. The anonymous decision was Limasawa was where the first Holy Mass was celebrated. In 2008, a second panel led by Dr. Benito Ligarda Jr. affirmed the decision of the Gangayco panel. Limasawa, not Butuan. Last year, 2020, the National Quincentennial Committee instructed the NHCP to form yet another panel with Dr. Rizal Mujares at the helm. He is an eminent historian from Cebu, a worthy recipient of the Order of the National Artist of Historical Literature. The Mujares panel upheld the conclusion of its predecessors. In effect, the state has spoken in favor of Limasawa. Thank you.
According to Pigafetta's account, he mentioned that the island has a lot of gold, and we all know that Butuan has a lot of gold. In the beginning, there was no Philippines, but there is Butuan. In fact, in Pigafetta's account, he mentioned Butuan 8 times repeatedly. In addition to that, Butuan is now the site of at least 9 excavated relics of Balangay, wherein Pigafetta mentioned that he and the ruler of Masava sat together in a boat called Balangay, wherein Limasawa Leyte has no archaeological tradition like that. In June 19, 1960, the Philippine Congress enacted a bill, RA number 2733, proving that the site of the first mass of the Philippines really happened in Limasawa Leyte. But President Carlos P. Garcia did not sign it because he wasn't convinced that Masava is really in Limasawa. They also discovered in a mysterious island of Butuan 28 evidences like corroded irons, metal bracelets, brass preso. So are you really sure that Limasawa is really the site of the first mass of the Philippines? Are you really sure that Masava is in Limasawa Leyte? Thus, Albo and Pigafetta's account are considered the primary sources, for Albo did not mention the Mas and Pigafetta mentioned Masava and not Limasawa.
Therefore, we conclude that the first mass happened is in Limasawa, not in Butuan. Even in the internet, the result is in Limasawa. Because of this mass, the Limasawa mass marked the birth of Roman Catholicism in our country. This mass was officiated by Father Pedro Valderrama on March 31, 1521, Easter Sunday. Upon orders of Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan, which remains as the nation dominant religion in the country up to present.
In the 17th century, Father Francisco Collins of the Libor Evangelica stated, on Easter Day, the territory of Butuan, the first mass ever offered in this part was celebrated and a cross planted which supported by Father Francisco Combis, historian de Mindanao y Hulu stated, Magellan landed at Butuan and there planted the cross in solemn ceremony. Despite the declaration of the National Historic of the Philippines, we will going to support our stand for the present historian, still looking for valid evidences to straighten the arguments when we talk about history. There's always been a lot of side issues and speculation. According to some historian, there's only one past but a lot of histories, and artifacts don't speak for themselves. That's all for our debate from the topic site of the first mass. Is it in Limasawa or in Masao, Butuan? Thank you.